Hey guys, what's going on? It's time for another Wednesday video. We've been talking about relationships. We're just coming back from CES. I'm going to kind of tell a story. I wanted Nathaniel on here just to ask questions because it seems like whenever I do one of these, I get a lot of questions in the comment sections and I go, oh, I should have addressed that. But I wanted to just point out we are working on programs and we've been building a lot of relationships with that. We started with our cousin, but we've met a lot of programmers and such on the way. But we are running into walls at certain places. So tapping into Amazon's API is something that we've been trying to do, but it's a little confusing. And sometimes if you want to tap into their information, there's some quirks. So knowing that information is kind of what I was seeking in the last like probably 3 weeks. So the guys at Inventory Lab, I met them last year at CES. I didn't really know them. I just said hello, kind of introduced myself. There was no real back and forth at that point, other than they asked them asking me questions about who am I, and I just said, oh, I'm working with Ryan and Jenny, and they said, oh, we have a good relationship with them. This is kind of what we've done with them. They have an affiliate link through us, and just kind of understanding that side of it, and going, oh, that was very interesting. Not thinking much of it. Throughout the year, or this past year, going to different events like ASD, going to Ryan's event, going to Joy's event, going to a lot of these different events. Seller Labs has been there almost at all of those events. I think the one right after that first CS, I went to Brett's office, and Tyler was there, and me and Tyler got to sit down with Abe, and then we were just speaking a lot about data collecting, how to use keywords, how to use keyword phrases, how to really tighten up a Seller Central listing or a listing that would go up on Amazon, not just a merch listing. So I got a lot of insight on that and got to build that relationship with Tyler. From there, every time seeing him at different events, we got to grow that relationship more and more and more to the point where we went to this CES and then a simple conversation with him just to kind of him asking me what I'm up to now, and then explain to him, hey, we're trying to do this. We're building these apps. We know we use Seller Labs a lot for these things. I wonder if there's any way to speed this up for merch. They have no real plans for doing anything with merch. It's very difficult to pull any of the information from Amazon, but he was very interested in the way that I was kind of using their program to justify going after a landing zone or not. So they said, oh, yeah, you can do this as like an add on thing. We have no problem with that. And is it helpful for you to tap into our API? And that was something that I wasn't even thinking of. Like, we've been looking into APIs and we've been trying to discover how to use them, but to use Seller Labs API and all of their information from all of their programmers was just something that I didn't even think of. So the door that was open through that and the conversations that we have since then has made developing programs 10 times easier. From instead of trying to discover like, okay, how do we actually do this? Which API do we have to actually ping? Because there's a whole bunch of them. What information are we truly trying to get? And where is Amazon hiding that? To just going, hey, I forget the programmer's name at Seller Labs right now. How do we actually get this piece of information? And then them just directing us straight to it and saying, hey, here's a backdoor into our system. And you can just tap that so you don't have to go through all the rigmarole and red tape through Amazon to make it so much easier. So it's sped up our, hopefully, our programming time tenfold to be able to do that. And I guess I'll ask you, Nathaniel, is there anything from your experience dealing with them, I don't know how much you've actually talked to them, that would stand out to you, just how friendly those guys are and like how easy it is to talk to what I would think is a big player in the space?
Yeah, just to kind of backtrack on your story a little bit, like the API, like that's a really big deal. Someone like letting you basically use a major part of their system. So that is just, very eye-opening to how friendly this community is to see someone, has this awesome program. Not only are they allowing us to like tap into it and kind of modify some things, but they're also just allowing us to see some of the backdoor information. So it is fantastic. But yeah, Tyler and anyone from Seller Labs uh, has just been, extremely friendly, open about things, and encourages us to use their platform to try and build, something of our own. Because I mean, they've done a lot of the legwork, and they just want to see the community continue to grow. I mean, they keep having new programs coming out, so there's no, uh, you know, there's a ton of need for a lot of things in the community as far as tools go. So there's not any, like we're trying to bump each other off of any program or anything. Like they're doing a fantastic job with what they've got going, and we just need to do slightly different things. But yeah, they've just been awesome. And it is just the power of relationships. I mean, not only the power of going to these conferences and talking to people, but just any relationship that we're building. Just to be nice to those guys, ask them some questions, and then come to us with like, hey, would this be helpful for you guys? It's just a really cool thing that would not be possible if we weren't, constantly trying to be in contact with them and asking questions and, just going back and forth. And even grabbing lunch at the conferences and all that kind of stuff, it builds up on top of each other.
I guess I didn't point out how big of a deal tapping into somebody else's API is. That information is normally like top secret behind a vault. And the fact that we have built up that relationship and it was just a simple conversation and question. It's the same kind of thing working with a lot of people that we are working with. Brett has a large brand now that we are able to help him with in different ways that we didn't think were going to be possible. But it was just a simple conversation to go, hey, we're really good at this. We know we've tried to work with you before, but it hasn't quite worked out because we're very busy doing different things. How about we just take over this part of it? And he was like, yeah, no problem. It's almost like going to Hasbro or somebody like that and just going, hey, Hasbro, you have this line of toys. Can we just do this with it? And then just going, yes. Like, unless you have a good relationship with that, you're never going to be able to just walk up to Hasbro and talk them into any kind of hairball idea you have. So those relationships have just built over a long period of time. I guess that's kind of how we always play a lot of things. We say, no, you don't have to get married on the first date. Relationship building over a long period of time to be able to partner with them. And we talk a lot about partnerships, but truly is just relationship. And it can start small. It can just start as a handshake and a hello. And then next time you see him, ask him a few questions. That relationship with Tyler and that whole team, I want to say Eric, but that's not his name. Jeff. That relationship has built over a year to now a simple conversation opens up a whole new avenue for us, something that was never going to be possible unless we had that relationship built up with them. So I just want to say we are trying to cater our community to building relationships with each other. I want you guys to get to know each other. I don't know how to do that other than having the hangouts, other than possibly having meetups, but building up relationships, even if you go, oh, I'm not really doing much, I'm barely doing this merch thing, I have a few shirts up. There's something in your life, your experiences that can be a huge benefit to this community. So I just want to encourage everybody, start reaching out to people, start just getting to know people, just a simple hi, hello, oh, I know your name, I recognize your face. That's kind of the foundations of building a business.
Yeah, 100% agree. So hopefully you guys will join us Friday for the hangout. I'm excited about those. And like Steven said, that's kind of the community that we're trying to build and the culture that we're trying to build is where everyone, is, even if, like Steven said, you're not, 100% dedicated just to merch like I am, you can still be a part of this community. You can still hang out here. We want to help each other with a bunch of different, aspects of this Amazon selling thing. So we're happy to have you guys. We're so excited about kind of the future of this group, but we think that starts with the Friday night hangouts. Anything else to add?
I think that's it. Everybody else have a great rest of the week. Hope to see you on Friday.
All right, guys. Bye.